Hi, right here in my studio, I was listening to, there's a new musician, I think a new music, I Will Never Turn Back or something like that by Easy Guys, was being analyzed by one of these uh, uh, creators, content creators, stuff like that. And some kind of question came up, and that has to do with this idea of appropriation, though this is about music, but other question came up, because a friend of mine who is white, of course, some some few uh, weeks back asked me if it's possible. He said, can a European uh, produce a work that is classified as an African art? That question was a bit tricky for me because looking at looking at it really depends, because when he asked me that question, I was like, wait a minute, and jokingly I said, I told him that, yeah, if you don't want to be a Picasso, because this thing is not just a direct yes or no answer, it is a it has to do with a whole lot of things. It has to do with the intention of that European. First of all, um, uh, are you genuinely wanting to know the culture, or you want to appropriate the image? Because there's this difference between appreciation and appropriation. If you are there to, to just appropriate the image without understanding the culture, without understanding the tradition, without understanding the spirituality, what is behind it, or if you are coming down as Europeans like they did the colonialists, coming with that superiority mentality, supremacist kind of mentality, coming up with the fact that coming up with that sense of entitlement, that okay, they are coming with knowledge, to coming like coming to educate, coming to enlighten, and then the answer is no, you can't do that, you can't, but if you're coming to learn about the African art, understand the spiritualities and every other thing, yeah, good, so a non-white, a non-African, white European can produce African artwork, but does that make him a kind of an African artist? No, the answer is completely no. So have it in mind. Thank you.